All right, what's up, everybody? This is your host for today, YFE, with his co-host Lumos. If you want to say what's up,
What's up, guys? Lumos Theramax. Good to be here.
yeah, and we are on for Don. Me and Don will be sharing this channel from now on. And the first voted for video on my main channel was what if Naruto was in Star Wars? So the way we're gonna look at this today is we're gonna take Naruto and take what he accomplished in the verse, how we know how like he progressed in the series, what he was more good at and stuff like that, and try to translate it as best we can to Star Wars itself. Now, if you want to see what if Naruto was in Star Wars as in like the whole verse, that's a separate video. And you're gonna have to hit the like button for that. But in terms of, I guess I'll start it off with in terms of what I think makes Naruto interesting as a discussion for Jedi is his expertise with Sage Mode. Sage Mode being something that connects you with the chakra and nature. That kind of awareness spiritually, like with nature and what surrounds you, is very like Qui-Gon-esque, and could potentially give Naruto quite a bit of potential in the Force, as well as his containing of Karama. You could actually translate to him either containing a Force Ghost, Force Spirit, or a Force Demon. There are Force Demons in the EU. Some of Alan Moore's stories had Force Demons in them. Or you could just use like a Sith or something that's like manipulating.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
the Universal Force is what Qui-Gon was always striving to become one with, correct?
Yeah, he felt the Force was all around him, and he lived through it. So like he felt the Force would guide him. It did, like man's law, man's word and shit. Like didn't really matter. He was gonna do what the Force said to do.
Yeah, very reminiscent to kind of Sage Chakra just in general, in terms of it just being the natural order of things that existed before other things came, yeah.
I could see a storyline where Naruto tags along with like Mandalorians or bounty hunters, because he's kind of like a outlaw himself.
Yeah,
In a lot of ways,
especially early on. Yeah, he was a real shithead early on, and he kind of developed a stronger like moral system from all the people he had come across. And I think that's where Naruto in general just gets his entire world flipped upside down, because unlike in the world of Naruto where people can be moved and swayed through what one would normally call like Takano Jutsu or like plot armor or whatever the case is, the Star Wars world is violently different than the Naruto world. I don't think that's going to have the same effect in the Star Wars verse as it would in like the Naruto verse, for example.
I think what would be interesting is you could definitely write him in to be a rival to Anakin, and have that Force spirit be like that Force demon inside of him, given the ability to keep up with Anakin's raw power.
Yeah.
And narratively just have them beef.
Kind of like how him and Ashrat Het did way back in the day.
Yeah, although no, that wasn't real beef. That was like Anakin got out of pocket.
Well, no, just like rivals or like sibling kind of Padawans at the same era.
Nah, actually, Het at that time was a like full-fledged knight / borderline master.
Okay.
That was just literally Anakin was racist.
Like, yeah, because he was hating on the same people, like, right?
Yeah, nah. So what happened was, I believe at that time, obviously, given he was his Anakin superior, I think he took Anakin with him somewhere, and Anakin found out he was a Tusken Raider. And that just did not sit well with Anakin. and Het was like, "Yo, look, I'm not like some savage, even though he just didn't know yet." Yeah. And they fought, and he schooled Anakin, and they didn't beef after that really. But yeah, that was more like circumstantial. I'm talking about a long-term rivalry. Anakin never had a long-term rival. Anakin had ops. Anakin had the Dooku's,
Yeah.
But he didn't have what I would consider a real cool rival in Naruto with his personality, and that Force demon we could give him would be dope.
Yeah, and his willingness to break rules, I think, would be something Anakin would be fond of.
Yeah, it'd make them in like an interesting. It could be friends, or they could be bitter rivals, or they could be friendly rivals like Sasuke and Naruto. You know, it could be dynamic in that nature, um, and it could lead to an interesting storyline if you just integrated him that way.
So let's say
As
Naruto takes this potential storyline down the road. They make it to the Clone Wars. What would be your goal? Like, what do you think would be like Naruto's like storyline within the context of the Clone Wars?
I think at that point he would probably go after either. I think they would take out. Let's go with like kind of the show route, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I would take away Sidious going after Maul in a press and send Naruto. I'd have like Naruto beef with Maul in a press. No. This is the big question. Who is Naruto's master?
Oof.
We have to ask ourselves that.
Oh man.
Mace hated Anakin.
He would hate.
So
Yeah.
Mace as Naruto with that fort. No, actually, that'd be about.
Yeah, Mace, I don't think would like Naruto. What about Plo Koon or Kit Fisto? I think both of them are kind of lively.
Fisto might be willing because Fisto, as a lot of people, Fisto, a user of Form One, took it to the absolute degree to where he was flirting with the dark side almost in the way Mace Windu was.
Yeah.
So he knew how to tiptoe that. So like that Force and Naruto, he would be able to potentially help him try to contain that. I could see Yoda stepping in. I could see Oppo Rancisis when he was around. He was like a old head, very wise, intelligent.
It's like a worm.
Someone like that might take him in. And Naruto had respect for people that had, season to him.
Yeah.
Like Jiraiya and stuff like that. Plo Koon, maybe. He wasn't as rambunctious. You could bring Naruto in the Clone Wars. Oh, people are not going to be happy I'm going to say this. Ahsoka Tano goes somewhere else. Anakin trains Naruto.
Oh, okay. Oh man.
That'd be interesting.
Oof, would Anakin fail? Would Anakin fail Naruto and have Naruto give in to the Nine Tails? That would be the question.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to think of like I think Kit would be an interesting Naruto master. I could see Yoda doing it though. Yoda had a way of calming people down.
Yoda,
I think he could bring a calm effect. Yeah. I don't think Mace would do it, so yeah, those would probably be the one. Oh, Shock T maybe. That could potentially happen, but besides that, actually, you know what? We'll stick with his narrative, because this is interesting too. He kind of gets alienated for having a Force demon.
Yeah, okay.
So he doesn't really have a master. He kind of just trains.
Is that why he and like Anakin would have such a kinship? Because Anakin feels kind of alienated, knowing deep down he's like the chosen one, and like Naruto would just be the opposite of that.
Yeah, that could happen. In terms of who would I have? Yeah, I think Maul would be decent people for him to beef with. Grievous maybe.
It'd be an interesting fight with him because he could create clones and shit in order to deal with all his arms.
Naruto really hating Dooku because someone like Minato. If we translated him to Star Wars, I could see Minato getting killed by Dooku.
Yeah, he's just skill and talent incarnate, man.
Yeah, like Dooku being like, "Yo, I'll get mad respect if I put you down." and then just like beating him.
He would too,
Maybe
man.
that's why. Like maybe Minato tried to get Dooku to not leave, and he kills Minato in the ensuing duel, and like Naruto has a reason to hate him. Naruto might be. You could go Sithari route with that Force demon inside him.
I was about to say, with the idea of the tailed beast being within him and it representing the idea of hatred, specifically the ideas of hatred within Kurama that were sealed within him, not the good have. Like, I think that those things are something that works so well in tandem with the dark side, and the dark side's influence on top of Naruto and having the demon inside of him. I'm just saying, I think that would push him a little bit further down the path of the dark side than it would the good side, in my opinion, at least early on.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Sidious aiming for him.
Yeah, even if it was just an experiment.
Yeah, and then him versus Anakin at that point would be interesting because Darkside Naruto would be a monster.
Yeah, in unison with that power. Yeah, in unison with that power, like together. I mean, not only does he have that cloak to defend him now, he's also got like his force barriers on top of that, and all of it's pain driven, and that stuff like is just the cloak itself is like super brutal.
Make people Naruto fans. I want y'all to realize how crazy this would be. Tapping into the dark side would allow Naruto to literally just play bully ball with Kurama right away.
Yeah,
since he had the like innate power to be stronger than Kurama, obviously, because he had to fight him and then merge with him and stuff like that. And then Jinchuriki is supposed to be stronger than the
original
Bijou Ikari. Yeah. So, like, if he already inherently scales that strong and he just taps into the dark side and rages and gets this massive dark side amp and just goes after Kurama, humbles him as a force demon, early on, man, it'd be rough in progression. I think the last part we'll talk about for Naruto is how do we judge him as a lightsaber duelist potentially? How would you look at that?
Oh, I think that as a lightsaber duelist, oh man, he would be one of the more wild fighters. I don't think that he would be very prim and proper at all. He would definitely not be a Makashi user whatsoever, because that's more formed. What is it, Ataru? No, not Ataru. It's Ataru that is very wild and like with a lot of crazy flips and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the acrobatics.
Yeah. I think he'd be much more like Ataru driven, if not like I don't know, because that's more like not free form, but much more, I think, freeing. I think for his style.
This is going to be a weird one for you. I think he would actually be potentially trained in like using more ancient weapons, blades, and like channeling the force through them. Because he uses like shadow clones and stuff.
Yeah. And he
might not even. Yeah, he low-key might not even be a duelist. He might like go characters like Nihilus and Valkyrian
just
and
hacks
stuff.
oriented.
Yeah, he might be like that. Even like Carvastor, Mace Windu's clan brother, he like was primitive in fighting.
If he could do something like that, that would make a lot more sense. I don't think he could replicate, like if he shadow cloned the idea of a lightsaber and keep its properties.
Yeah,
now
that's
if he could do that with like a vibroblade or something like that, or like an ancient Sith sword, he could like throw his chakra and or like force powers through. Then most definitely, I see him like utilizing something like that. But there's a lot of weird things in terms of transitive properties that I'm not sure would work there. But if so, then he'd be crazy busted. But his hacks are so wild with how much stuff he can send at you. Unless you're like a Sidious who's just got like a large scale AoE, it'd be very frustrating for I think any characters in Star Wars to like deal with him.
Yeah, and I think narratively, I would just have that power inside him just like scale and potential stupid high.
Yeah.
And just allow him to almost like study a different aspect of the Force. I guess chakra, we would make it a different aspect of the Force instead of alien. And it just develop him that way.
It would be like having an entire branch or an entire field of the same art that everyone else is messing with that no one else has. It would just be coining his own side that would make him so dangerous.
Yeah, he would be like how Sith sorcery first came in and kind of like puzzled people. It was a game changer. I think chakra could be used in that way too.
And it would be really interesting to see how he could tie his like chakra based techniques together with like his force abilities. I think that would be something that would be really, really unique with him.
Yeah, I think I'd have him ultimately scale to like a Star Killer type, with like mad potential, really wild, and a few ways you could go with it narratively.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, you want to see another video like this with a Naruto character coming to Star Wars, or us looking at this as just everybody? Let me know in the comment section down below and like the video. Also, big shout out to Lumos. Go check out his channel. I just featured over there. And you want to say anything before we head out?
Yeah, of course, guys. I'm Lumos Theramax. I'm a big Naruto fan. Been reading it ever since I was essentially a kid. So I mean, it's cool to sit back and talk about this. And Star Wars is also super dope. So thanks for having me, man. I look forward to some more chats like this, and we'll get you guys down the way. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yep. Peace.
Later.